Hi guys, this is Frank with DiehardRC Addicts. We're out at Herman Airport, and I've got my HobbyKing RadJet 800. I did a couple little modifications to it. I put the HobbyKing motor, it's equivalent to a 2212-6. It's a 2200 kV motor, 28 millimeter diameter, and a 6.4 prop. Running one of the HobbyKing 50 amp ESCs and a 1350 Rhino 30C 3-cell. This is the first time I've flown it with this battery and setup in here. Hopefully it's going to fly a little bit faster than the stock one and have a little bit more thrust. So let's go ahead and throw it in the air and see how it does. Oh yeah, much more thrust.
Looks like it's cruising pretty good too.
Feels a lot better than the stock setup.
What size battery did you say is in this?
It's a 1350 milliamp 3-cell Rhino.
And what, 6.4 prop?
And a 6x4 sport prop. It's an APC sport prop. Got a nice whistle to it today.
Yeah, it looks like it's definitely flying a lot better, I think.
It's flying a lot better than it was before. I scooted the CG a little bit farther forward too. Seems like it's tracking a little bit better.
So was the stock CG a little off then, or?
Might have been just a little bit. Which is kind of weird, is the CG is all the way to the front edge of the wing almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's
like the little triangle pieces that come forward. It's actually on those parts, not on the main part of the wing. See how that still feels like it's got a little bit of a shimmy in the wind.
Yeah, because that does have some pretty small vertical stabilizers.
Seems like the wind is what affects it the most. Flies nice and stable otherwise. It feels pretty locked in. It doesn't really want to climb or dive when you hammer the throttle.
Trying to lose the cameraman or what?
Flying all crazy.
I got you there, I think. Yeah, it looks like it flies pretty awesome now.
Yeah, this plane, a lot of people think it looks like a fun jet, but it's actually quite a bit smaller than a fun jet. A lot of people have been asking me to put a 1600 watt motor in it like I did in my fun jet, but it just won't fit in this plane. The 2212-6 seems like a pretty good fit for it. And it still keeps it fairly light. That slows down pretty good too, it looks like.
What do you think it's doing? Maybe about 90?
I'd say probably 80, 90 miles an hour. It's still pretty good for a park flyer.
Yeah, later on, maybe one of these days we'll check with the GPS.
It's fast enough.
Yeah.
All right, I think after this pass, I'll go ahead and swing it around and bring it in for a landing. Cool. All right, guys.
Flew pretty good.
I'll have to show you the mod when I get home a little bit better. Okay, guys, now that I've got my RadJet back home, I can go over to performance mods that I did to the plane. The modifications I did to this plane right now are for people that are looking for all-around performance and not just top speed. The plane will still fly really good slow and have great flight characteristics. The motor I chose is a HobbyKing motor. It's a 28 by 26 millimeter motor, and it's rated at 2200 kV. I'll put links to all the parts that I'm going to be talking about here in the video information bar. So this motor is rated all the way up to, I think, 350 watts of power, and I'm running a APC 6x4 sport prop on it. The motor is also rated up to 30 amps, I think. Now, on the inside of the plane, I'm using a Rhino 1350 milliamp 30C 3-cell lithium battery, and it's running off of one of the HobbyKing 50 amp ESCs, which is stuffed way back inside the plane. I wanted to make sure to get good airflow to the ESC, so I made sure that everything sits down in the bottom of the plane and there's room for the air to get around the battery. So the receiver's in the bottom here, and then behind that is the 50 amp ESC. And then I noticed that the plane didn't have any kind of exit for the air in the back, so I made a small exit hole back here just behind the ESC so that the air can flow through the canopy and come out through the back side of the plane, and that way the ESC gets pretty good cooling. I used a 50 amp ESC, which is actually pretty much overkill for this motor because, like I said, it's only rated up to 30 amps. But I wanted to put something big enough in there that if I do decide I want to put a bigger motor in it later, I don't have to tear the plane apart again. That was one other thing I wanted to mention. If you're going to get one of these planes and you plan on putting a different motor in it, I would suggest getting the almost ready to fly version because it comes with this section of the plane not glued on yet. I got the ready to fly version, or almost ready to, the plug and fly version, and all this was already pre-assembled and had the stock motor in it. So in order to change it, I had to cut open this section back here because it's all glued, and so is this area here, to get into the ESC to swap it out. I decided also to make some changes to make it a little bit easier for me to take the motor out if I need to. The motor is actually sticking all the way out the back of the plane now. It used to be a little bit into the foam. And what I did is I used one of the E-flite removable stick mount motor mounts. I have the two different motor mounts sitting here. This is the stock motor mount that was in the plane with the stock motor. And then this is this one that I picked up at the hobby shop. These work great. It's an E-flite stick mount motor mount. And as you can see here, it has a screw on the bottom that just, you can screw it into the wood. And when you want to take it off, you loosen the screw and pull it off the end of the stick. And you just need to use like a 5 or 6 inch piece of stick. And after you get the old motor mount out, you just glue the stick inside the bottom of the plane. And there's a spot here where you can see where the screw is that I can just take the screw out and I can slide the motor out the back. And that way I can unplug the wires and pull the ESC out through the front side if I need to get to it to service it. The plane by itself, stock, was very difficult to get in there because, like I said, everything's glued in place and you got to cut it open to get to it. So this way at least I can take the motor off and pull the ESC out if I need to. These modifications made a pretty good difference in the performance of the plane. I'd have to say that it's probably picked up another 15-20 miles an hour on top speed, and it definitely has unlimited vertical now. The 6-inch prop puts out a lot more thrust than the stock one, which was I think a 5.5 inch diameter prop. And the extra kV of the motor also spins it faster because the stock motor was only 1800 kV and this one's 2200. So there is a pretty good performance boost from this setup. I'm pretty happy with the way it flies now, so I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to swap out the motor to something bigger. But if I get enough people out there putting stuff in the comments saying they want to see it go faster, maybe I will drop a different motor inside just to see what it does. But right now I'm really pleased with the way the plane is flying and just the overall performance, because it flies really good slow now, and the aerobatics are awesome. It's a good all-around flyer right now. Okay guys, well that pretty much covers the mods that I did to the plane. I will probably put another video out later if I get a chance to put the GPS in there, because I do want to find out what the actual speeds are. So I'll probably do that a little bit later and post another video. Let me know what you guys think. And I just want to say thanks for watching Die Hard RC Addicts, and I'll see you guys again next time.